There's a few places we're going to check out today. Look at this bridge that I'm standing on. Look how wonky the guardrails are, and the cast iron lamp, and behind me St. Thomas Church and the ruins of an old priory. Today we're in Launceston, which is a small town in the north of Cornwall, and this town used to actually be the capital of Cornwall. It was the main place to be in the 16th and 17th century. This bridge in the background was a pack horse bridge built a long time ago. And a pack horse bridge meaning it was originally built to allow horses to travel from one side of the river to the other. But today you probably wouldn't find any horses travelling across the bridge, and it's really just used by the local community, walking their dogs, or in the summer feeding ducks, or perhaps even taking a dip. This is even the site of a cucking stool, or ducking stool. I wonder what comes to your mind when I say that word. You might already know what it means. But this was a type of punishment used in medieval Europe, with mentions as early as the 13th and 14th century. This form of punishment would have a woman who was particularly disorderly or overly nagging sit on the end of a plank or trebuchet contraption, and the lady would be dunked 2, 3, 4 times depending on the punishment. Women who were accused of being witches were also put to the test. Once dunked, if their body sunk, then they were clear of their charges, and if their body floated, they were deemed to be a witch. As always, the beauty's in the detail. I love this stonework with the grass tufts growing in between each bit of stone. It's really slippery to walk on. Look how wonky these railings are. And a characteristic of a pack horse bridge is the low parapets either side, which I think probably knocked down at some point and replaced by these railings in the Victorian times. But the low parapets were necessary to not obstruct any of the horses' equipment as they would travel across and back again. And then along the edges of the bridge you have this stonework, which looks like they've been stapled together by these big iron staples. I've never seen anything like this before. On each side of the bridge you have this pointy shape, which I can assume is probably to do with breaking up the flow of water and to reduce the impact against the stone. Man, there's something surprisingly fun about feeding ducks bread. I don't think actually you're even meant to give them bread, but there's something so satisfying about it. And they just love it, man. It's so fun to see them all fight for it. And trying to give... Hey, look, the pigeons are having a go now. There you go. There you go. Trying to give them all an even split. Some of these little dudes are so greedy. Oh, hit the female duck over the head. That's great, man. I recommend it. Go to your park, feed some ducks, even if you're by yourself. You might think you look weird, but everyone's a bit weird at the end of the day. Go on in. Oh, got him in the head. Go on out. What a great place to be standing on. I mean, it's a crap day. The weather is awful. And actually, it's been awful for a long time. That's why I've not made a video. But I'm testing this new microphone now, so I'm hoping that you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear the ducks as well. Yeah, you get that over there, mate. Things have been pretty intense for me. Nothing particularly dramatic has happened, but just figuring some stuff out. So it's nice to take some time out and walk and get off the computer. You alright? That lady probably thinks I'm such a weirdo. Oh, they love it. I wonder what food I like as much as ducks like bread. I don't know. Roast dinners, I guess.
The other thing I love about this spot is not only have you got the bridge, you got the church, just on the left, you got Launceston Castle that just sits on the highest point, and you won't be able to see it on the camera, but from my view, I've got all three subjects like in my eyesight. It just looks great. It looks so old. In celebration of the 80th birthday of Launceston's eminent poet, Charles Causley, CBE.
So Mr. Charles Causley was actually born and raised in Launceston, and just on the left here is his childhood home. So if you're a fan of poetry, you might find that quite cool. And just off the river we've got St. Thomas Church, which is on the grounds of an old priory which was sold in 1539 because of the dissolution of the monasteries. So King Henry VIII disbanded Catholic monasteries, convents and friaries and seized all of their wealth and disposed of their assets. And I've now learnt that a priory is a Catholic monastery, so a religious house filled with monks and nuns. And the grounds here, the priory was originally built in 1137. Remember, I'm not a historian, I might have gotten some facts wrong, so let me know because I'm always keen to learn. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and we'll go for a proper ramble soon.